I'm actually like recording in so many different places right now, but I just want to say good night, everyone. How you doing? I am Boricua Angie, the host of Thoughts of a Light Skinned Woman, and today is Mental Health Awareness Month. So that's what I wanted to get into today. I have, some information and stuff that I would like to share, some personal things also that I would like to share as well. Um, I have some interesting topics that are coming up, so I'm really excited. One of them is definitely going to be about the dating world, and I have a few other things that I have that I'm going to be doing soon. But I also want to say that you are more than welcome to be a guest, depending on what the topic or the show is about. Um, I would love to have guests. I would love to get different opinions, feedback. So that will definitely be a great thing. All you have to do is inbox me and we can definitely talk about that. So let's start off. So, for some of these things, I have to do research because I'm not a professional in everything. So now here, so Mental Health Awareness Month was established in 1949 to increase awareness of the importance of mental health and wellness in American lives and to celebrate recovery from mental illness. So then we also have, what is mental health awareness? Mental health awareness is the ongoing effort to reduce the stigma around mental illness and mental health conditions by sharing our personal experiences. There's often, because of misconceptions about mental health and mental fitness, people often suffer in silence and their conditions go untreated. This right here, I notice that when it comes to mental health, it's really important. Now, I'm just kind of going through what I have because like I said, I just know I could share what I know, what I've been through. But, it's always good to share information. I feel ever since COVID happened, a lot of things have changed for the fact that many people had to be indoors, and that's not something that a lot of people were used to. They had to be home with their partners and their children. And I've said it before. I've been home before, so it's not like I've been indoors. I've been fine. I feel like I wouldn't say I was the only one, but I just know I was just one of the people during COVID that when they were like, hey, everybody stay indoors, I was like, perfect. I was like, there will be nobody outside. That was perfect. I would go do my walks, go do my little workouts, whatever I needed to do. And I was like, this is perfect because there's nobody outside. And there was no restriction of you couldn't be outside, but it was more of, but mental health is a really serious thing. I was trying to find, and I'm still working on this. I'm still, trying to learn the ins and outs of this. I will get better in time because I wanted to share a video about when it came to people in mental health in New York City because we've seen a lot of things have been happening. It's been a lot of attacks on the subway. The recent thing that happened with Jordan. And it gets tricky because after what happened in that situation on the subway, where one of the subway riders put him in a chokehold, now it puts you in a place. It's kind of like, what do you do moving forward when someone is on the train who's not mentally well, like, how do you go about that? How do you defend yourself now if, let's say, if you're being attacked by someone? Do you see what I'm saying? It gets kind of tricky because it's like, does that mean now we don't defend ourselves? Does it mean now that we get attacked by, I can't even say, some of the people on there are homeless and some people are not. Mental illness is everywhere. It doesn't only have to be a homeless thing. But it just makes you wonder what happens now after that situation. Again, how do we defend ourselves? What are we supposed to do? So now it just gets a little bit, I'm just concerned. Because, like I said, a lot of things have been happening. I've been more aware and just looking at everything that's been going on. And it's something that we have to now be cautious and careful about now. So I wanted to go over some stuff. Now, mental health. And I've always said it when it comes to self care. It is right. You're absolutely right. That was the whole thing about that, where it sucked because I wish maybe somebody would have said something, like somebody would have spoke up, because it was kind of a little bit extreme. You know what I mean? It was extreme. But now, again, like I said, we now have to think about how do we defend ourselves now in these situations. Because, like I said, being on the subway and on the train now, it's way different. I feel like things were happening, but ever since the city opened up and it was just like, people don't have to wear masks. I don't know what happened, where everybody came from, if maybe things were just maybe too much, it was maybe overwhelming, maybe people having anxiety, I don't know, but I just feel like there's a big change and something happened, and it either had to be during COVID and everything just changed. But like I was saying, healthcare, not healthcare, self-care, you hear me? Self-care, it's still about healthcare too. Self-care is really important, and that's something that I've noticed I always make sure to do. If I have to take a day off, if I have to go and pamper myself, we as people, as human beings, we go through a lot. We're going through, whether the people outside, at work, at home, it's a lot. It's a lot. I feel with this generation and how people are a bunch of, being bullies, cyber bullies, for the fact that you can even speak openly about having certain issues because people want to make fun of the situation, and that's the worst. And it shouldn't be. I feel people should still be able to find someone to speak to, even if it's through therapy, through a family, through a friend, and still be able to talk about these things and not keep it to yourself, regardless of whatever's happening. Um, it's something that we really have to, right. People love to record everything, but there's been so many instances where there have been celebrities who haven't looked their best. We don't know what their situation is. It was like the whole thing with like Chadwick Boseman, with the cancer, and people just made fun, and it's the worst because it's like, how do we grow? How do we get that tough skin? How do we teach others and let them know that people could say whatever they want? You know what I mean? People could say whatever they want, and that's nothing. It's those are just words. It's not, and I know words can be hurtful. Trust me, I know. It's been said to me. I've said it to people. It can be hurtful, but it's like, how do we show people to like let that just like just slide off? Because I feel like in this era now, like I said, with social media, with all these platforms, it's like people have a lot to say. Somebody always has something to say. And then you're kind of like, are you living that person's life? What do you know about them? Why are you giving your 2 cents? But at the same time, it's like myself right now. You're putting yourself out there. Everyone gets to see you. So now everybody feels like they have an opinion on what to say. But it just sucks when you see people later on that there's posts because someone posted something and then people just literally started attacking them. And even if it wasn't anything negative, but people just started attacking them, has something to say. And all of these things, like I said, these things will affect you mentally, physically. All of these things that we go through affect us somehow. That's why when I think about my life in general, it's just like, I'm going to take care of me. Self care is really important. I'm going to take care of me because I know when I feel that I'm becoming overwhelmed, I'm getting stressed out. I know, I can see that for myself. I know how I feel. So I'm like, if I have to take a day, I'll do it. Like I said, I've pampered myself. I've gotten my hair done. I've done my feet. I've done my nails. Even if it's just me going out by myself, doing something in the city, it's all about you. Many things have happened where I have friends and family members that I've lost due to like depression. And it just sucks because these are moments where it's kind of like you're having your last discussion with this person and you don't even know what's going to happen the same day or the next day. And it always sucked when I would go on social media that will be the only time that I will find out that somebody was no longer here, with us. And at times I didn't want to pry, depending on who the person was. So it would be more like I had a feeling of like I knew what it was, but I just didn't want to get into anybody's business. I feel like if a person was comfortable enough to talk about it, you know, they would have said something. But this is the reason, and I love that this is here for this month, and it's the whole month, not just the day, it's the whole month. So there's a few things I looked up when it's talking about your mental health. Mental health, it says it includes emotional, psychological, and social well being. It says it affects how we think, feel, act, make choices, and relate to others. Mental health is more than the absence of mental illness, it's essential to your overall health and quality of life. Self care can play a role in maintaining your mental health and support your treatment and recovery if you have a mental illness. Now, it says about self care. Self care means taking the time to do the things that help you live well and improve both your physical and mental health. When it comes to your mental health, self care can help you manage stress, lower your risk of illness, and increase your energy. Even small acts of self care in your daily life can have a big impact. Now, here are some tips. What I'm reading, I'm not a professional. I just kind of went into Google to, like I said, to get more information and, things that I feel like we should be able to talk about. And I still have more because all of this is really interesting. It says get regular exercise. It says just 30 minutes of walking every day can help boost your mood and improve your health. Small amounts of exercise add up. Eat healthy, regular meals and stay hydrated. I feel like some of us don't do that. And it makes you wonder if all of these things do play a big impact on your life. Like it says, a balanced diet and plenty of water can improve your energy and focus throughout the day. It says also limits caffeinated beverages such as soft drinks or coffee. It says make sleep a priority. I love this one because here in my home, I can go to bed at a certain time and I gotta love my kids. They'll wake me up in the middle of the night and I'm over here like, you are really messing with my sleep right now. I be thinking to myself, I'm gonna wake up like a cranky, a monster in the morning because I didn't get enough sleep. But of course, it'll be the opposite because I'll be tired and drained. So it says stick to a schedule and make sure you're getting enough sleep. It says blue light from devices and screen make it harder to fall asleep. So reduce blue light exposure from your phone or computer before it's bedtime. It says try a relaxing activity, explore relaxation or wellness programs or apps which may incorporate meditation, muscle relaxation, or breathing exercise. Schedule regular times for these and other healthy activities you enjoy as journaling. Set goals and priorities. It says decide what must get done now and what can wait. Learn to say no to new tasks if you start to feel like you're taking on too much. Try to be mindful of what you have accomplished at the end of the day, not what you have been unable to do. Now, practice gratitude. Remind yourself daily of things you're grateful for. Be specific. Write them down at night or replay them in your mind. It says focus on positivity because, ooh, we live in a negative world. And it's kind of like, it's horrible. Stress, negativity, all of that. Like I said, all of that stuff will affect you. It says focus on positivity, identify and challenge your negative and unhelpful thoughts. And it says stay connected. Reach out to your friends and family members who can provide emotional and practical support. Now, I feel like this is always an important thing. Now, I feel like it's good to talk to someone that you trust. There's even also therapy. Supposedly, I've seen things where they're like therapy is free or your insurance can cover it. All depends. It's like somebody said, you have to look at the back of your insurance card and start making phone calls and see who would cover. But therapy is also a good way to go. Like I said, ever since COVID happened, I feel like there's people that just need to. I don't think we really need to keep holding these things inside and keeping it to ourselves. It says self care looks different for everyone, and it is important to find what you need and enjoy. It may take trial and error to discover what works best for you, because that is important. In addition, although self care is not a cure for mental illness, understanding what causes or triggers your mild symptoms and what coping techniques work for you can help manage your mental health. Now, if you know anyone out there, so again, some people might tell you, might not tell you, but again, I'm not a professional, but it says here, it says when to seek professional help. This is something that you should always keep an eye out for, especially like I say, your friends, your loved ones. It says seek help if you're having difficulty sleeping, appetite changes that result in unwanted weight changes, struggling to get out of bed in the morning because of mood, difficulty concentrating, loss of interest in things you usually find enjoyable, and inability to perform usual daily functions and responsibilities. So as I Googled, I look, it says, what are like mental health disorders? There's a few on here. I feel like I still might have some time. I could still kind of go through them. So, mental disorders that are also called mental illness, they have the most common types. They have, like it says, clinical depression. It's a mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in daily life. So now it says possible causes include a combination of biological, physiological, and social sources of the stress. Increasingly, research suggests that these factors may cause change in brain functions, including alter activity of certain neural circuits in the brain. Right? So now let's go back. The next one we have is an anxiety disorder. Oh, this one's not like the other one. Okay, I lost that one. Sorry, guys. Right here. So, it's a mental health disorder characterized by feelings of worry, anxiety, or fear that are strong enough to interfere with one's daily activities. Examples of anxiety disorders include panic attacks, obsessive compulsive disorder, and post traumatic stress disorder. Symptoms include stress that's out of proportion to the impact of the event, inability to set aside a worry, and restlessness, right? We have bipolar disorder, a disorder associated with episode of mood swings ranging from depressive lows to manic highs. The exact cause of bipolar disorder isn't known, but a combination of genetics, environment, and altered brain structure and chemistry may play a role. It says manic episodes may include symptoms such as high energy, reduced need for sleep, and loss of touch with reality. Depressive episodes may include symptoms such as low energy, low motivation, and loss of interest in daily activities. And mood episodes last to days to months at a time and may also be associated with suicidal thoughts. There's also dementia. It says it's a group of thinking and social symptom that interferes with daily functioning. Not a specific disease, dementia is a group of conditions characterized by impairment of at least two brain functions, such as memory loss and judgment. Symptoms include forgetfulness, limited social skills, and thinking abilities, so impaired, that interferes with daily functioning. We have ADHD, so attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It is a chronic condition including attention difficulty, hyperactivity, impulsiveness. ADHD often begins in childhood and can persist into adulthood. It may contribute to low self esteem, troubled relationship, and difficulty at school or work. Symptoms include limited attention and hyperactivity. There's schizophrenia. It's a disorder that affects a person's ability to think, feel, and behave clearly. The exact cause of schizophrenia isn't known, but a combination of genetics, environment, and altered brain chemistry and structure may play a role. Schizophrenia is characterized by thoughts or experiences that seem out of touch with reality, disorganized speech or behavior, and decreased participation in daily activities. Difficulty with concentration and memory may be also present. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Excessive thoughts, obsessions that lead to repetitive behaviors, compulsions. Obsessive compulsive disorder is characterized by unreasonable thoughts and fears, obsessions that lead to compulsive disorder. OCD often centers on themes such as a fear of germs or the need to arrange objects in a specific manner. Symptoms usually begin gradually and vary throughout life. They even included autism in here as well. A serious developmental disorder that impairs the ability to communicate and interact. Autism spectrum disorders impacts the nervous system. The range and severity of symptoms can vary widely. Common symptoms include difficulty with communication, difficulty with social interactions, obsessive interests and repetitive behaviors. Early recognition, as well as behavioral, educational, and family therapies, may reduce symptoms and support development and learning. Then there's post traumatic stress disorder. Like I said, during COVID, a lot of things happened. It was a very, very different experience for everybody, and it just changed a lot. It says a disorder in which a person has difficulty recovering after experiencing or witnessing a terrifying event. The condition may last months or years with triggers that can bring back memories of the trauma, accompanied by intense emotional and physical reactions. Symptoms may include nightmares or unwanted memories of the trauma, avoidance of situations that bring back memories of the trauma, heightened reactions, anxiety, or depressed mood. It says treatment includes different types of trauma focused psychotherapy as well as medication to manage symptoms. And it's crazy because that's another thing too. This is going to be one of my other episodes, but it's just like everything now requires medication. Now, what happens if we wouldn't have had medication? How would we have helped our friends and loved ones with whatever they were going through? Because I've always think about those things. Because the type of stuff they were doing back then to treat people was more like torture. And I don't really think it helped or really changed anything. It makes you wonder if these people were just having too much fun, you know, finding ways to have somebody as a guinea pig just to see what triggers them, you know? So now I'm still like, you know me, I've always have to give like information about stuff. So it says the importance of mental health awareness, right? It says mental illness affect 90% of the adult population, 46% of teenagers, and 13% of children each year. People struggling with their mental health may be in your family, they live next door, teach your children, work in the next cubicle, or sit in the same church pew. I don't know if I said that right, but correct me if I'm wrong. It says, however, only half of those affected receive treatment, often because of the stigma attached to mental health. Untreated mental illness can contribute to higher medical expenses, poor performance at school and work, and fewer employment opportunities, and increased risk of suicide. Now it says, what exactly is a mental illness? A mental illness is a physical illness of the brain that causes disturbances in thinking, behavior, energy, or emotion that make it difficult to cope with the ordinary demands of life. It says research is starting to uncover the complicated causes of these diseases, which can include genetics, brain chemistry, brain structure, experiencing trauma, or having another medical condition like heart disease. Now, it says the two most common mental health conditions are anxiety disorders. It says more than 80% of adults each year struggle with some type of anxiety disorder, including post-traumatic stress disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, and specific phobias. And then the next one is a mood disorder. It said mood disorders such as depression and bipolar depression affect nearly 10% of adults each year and are characterized by difficulties in regulating one's mood. I saw one here. It talked about the kids. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Let's see if we could find it. Because it was saying that kids go through it too. And it's like, how do you catch that? You know what I mean? How do you know when your child's actually going through that? And I know I had it here, but I'm going to find it if I have to Google it again. So I know I had it. So what I saw here, it says like, I think lately depression plays a big part too. of, like I said, everything that's been kind of going on. Like I said, as adults, we we go through a lot. So here it says about the different phases of depression. It says with over 3 million experiencing depression worldwide, it is one of the most common mental health conditions that exists. Depression affects people of all ages, ethnicity, race, gender, and income levels. And it says, yet depression can look very different depending on age and other factors. So now, again, even if this is not for yourself, again, I feel like we really need to like check up on our friends and family from time to time and just see how they're doing. Just ask them, like, how do you feeling today? Be like, is there anything you want to talk about? I feel like, I think at one point, I think one of my last episodes, we're talking about, I think, mental health when it comes to men. And it's just sad in the type of world we live in where we're still on this whole, like, you're a man, you can't cry, you shouldn't be able to express any feelings, you shouldn't even be talking about that you're tired, you're not feeling well, you're drained. It's ridiculous. Again, we're all human, we're all people. We should be able to talk to someone. But like I said, I feel like if you can't trust the people that you're around, there's always help in other places. Like I said, there's therapy, there's other ways to find how to talk, you know, be able to talk to someone about it if you can't even do it with friends or family, because people can be very judgmental and very opinionated, and the crazy thing is that instead of helping, they just make situation worse. And then there's a lot of times people wonder why a lot of things happen. Sometimes there's already someone out there already who's probably already reached out looking for help, and then someone right now is actually not listening. It says common symptoms of depression. It says you may be depressed if you have at least 5 of these symptoms occurring nearly every day for at least 2 weeks. And again, this is really important. This is for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It says feeling sad or empty, having little interest or pleasure in doing things, experiencing a change in appetite with weight loss or weight gain, trouble falling or staying asleep or sleeping too much, being tired, fatigued, and having no energy, feeling worthless or guilty that you have let yourself or your family down, moving slowly or the opposite, being overly fidgety and restless, having difficulty or concentrating on things such as reading the newspaper, watching TV, letting personal hygiene go, not bathing or dressing well, recurring thoughts of hurting yourself or thinking that you'd be better off dead. And then, like I said, it says depression looks different at every age. Anyone at any age can experience an episode of depression. However, the signs, diagnosis of, and chance that treatment will be sought can differ by age, range, and gender. It says kids struggle with depression. It says although depression can occur in young children, it is much more common in adolescence and after puberty. Occurs much more frequent in girls. For a diagnosis of depression in children as in adults, at least 5 symptoms must be present for a period of at least 2 weeks. And again, this is supposed to be Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm going to say it again. check up on your friends and family, ask them how they're doing. These things are really important. I had to take time to really think about that. At one point, I was just like, I suck at calling people, I suck at texting. But I said, you know what? I need to make an effort as often as I can and just say, hey, how you doing? How you feeling today? You know what I mean? Can make a huge difference. As a kid, when I was younger, I suffered from depression. And again, it was not something that we talked about back then. And it's interesting because even at a young age, it's like, how would you even know you're depressed? I feel like we know more about this now as time, as time has gone by. We have more information on it. We have better symptoms of how we know. But who would have known how many people were depressed back then? And what could we have done? But like I said, I've experienced it. And as the thing says, it's not like it's all the time. It's like it is a thing that like just comes and goes. Because I've had moments where it's just like it was really bad because I'm just kind of like, oh my God, I really don't want to do nothing. Besides, I just didn't really want to wake up. There's times that it's true. There would be moments where I would just like, I would sleep a lot. Like I would just be in bed and it would be like just sleeping throughout the day. And it's just like that actually affects you too. It makes you even more tired. It just gives you the whole fatigue. It's just, but I feel that when I've started doing this show, like I said, I'll share my experiences because, like I said, I'm a person, I'm human. It's okay. I don't feel like I ever have to feel bad about anything. People can say whatever they want because, like I said, these are serious things. If people make fun, it's because they're childish. Um, they just have their own issues and they just don't want to admit it. So they feel like they have to probably make fun of somebody else, to feel better. But this is things that, like I said, I have no issues talking about. Somebody out there might need to hear it, um, to be able to experience this. Look at me right now. I'm looking for tissue with everything that I have, and I can't find anything. um, but as I was saying before, so now when it comes to young children, so again, this is for any parents, any friends out there. So the signs of depressions more frequently seen in children are irritability or sadness, boredom, lack of interest in friends and previously enjoyed activities, changes in appetite resulting in failure to gain weight, or especially in teens, weight gain, irregular sleep patterns, either having difficulty sleeping or refusing to wake up for school, persistent lack of energy or feeling tired, self critical, feeling that no one likes me, not performing well at school, lack of motivation. Right. I think I have some. Give me a minute, guys. I'm sorry. You would think that I should have something around here, and I don't. Um, with kids too, that's kind of important to pay attention to these kind of things. I feel like sometimes me as a parent, I've had moments where I feel like maybe I think maybe my kids might be exaggerating. Maybe they're I feel like if they're pretending, but I feel like these are things that are really important that now we really need to look into just in case, because you never know. Seems that children at a young age also go through depression, and it's something to really look into and pay attention to these things. Like us as parents, we know our children. We know our children very well. When things change, behavior changes. I feel like as a parent, even as a friend, anyone, you will notice the difference in certain things, especially in kids, adults. You'll see a difference um, in behavior because I know I've seen it. So that one, when it comes to kids. Now it says young people may also engage in high risk sexual activities and other behaviors, including shoplifting, physical fights, and abuse of alcohol or drugs. It says untreated depression can lead to devastating consequences in young people, including ongoing problems in school, at home, and with friends, in critical developmental years, and increasing the risk for substance abuse. And now it says if you're concerned your child may be depressed, it is important to talk to him or her about your observations and how he or she is feeling, and to listen for key warning signs. You should try to create an open, honest communication where mental health issues like depression are treated like any other health risk affecting adolescents. It says psychotherapies, including cognitive behavioral therapy and interpersonal therapy and medications, have been effective in treating children diagnosed with depression. And then it says together, you, your child, and your clinician can choose a treatment that seems best. And that's what I was talking about. Communication, open communication, being able to talk to your kid. Like I said, we know our kids very well. But again, mental health is a very serious thing. That's why I'm going to say it again. Self care is important. Even if you don't have any of these illnesses, disorders, just life itself will put you in a place that you're just like, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I can't take this. You have to find time for yourself. I don't know, I'm going to stress it because, like I said, I've done it. But you have to find time for yourself. You have to do it. We're living in a world that we are overworking ourselves. I've made sure that I've tried to avoid drama and all the other things that I'm like, just add to your daily life, to your mental and your physical health. But like I said, self care is really important. Like I said, even if you can't find someone to do things with, do it by yourself. Like, seriously, it's okay to do things on your own. Take time for yourself. Because what's that saying? It's like you could die today or tomorrow and somebody will replace you. They already have somebody taking over your position. Like, that's how fast they'll find someone. No thoughts. No. You don't ever notice that, how it's kind of crazy about that? Like, you work hard. You work hard. Sometimes you're seen, sometimes you're appreciated, sometimes you're not. You're doing this because, like I said, the world we live in, you're trying to live a good life, but it's just like, how to be saying, like, all work and no play. Like, when do you really find time for yourself? How often do you go to the doctor? How often do you get yourself checked? Because I know for me it's like it's a yearly thing unless they say otherwise, but I make sure to go and see my doctor to make sure that everything is good. But Everything in life, like all of these things are really important. You really have to take care of yourself because nobody else is going to do it. You have to do this. This is why I've told my friend at work when I'm just like, I don't want to stress myself. I don't want to stress myself because of the concerns of parents and other things that are happening. I don't want to stress myself. I want to be at a job that I enjoy. I enjoy what I do. And I know those babies are well taken care of. But I don't want to be at a job feeling stressed, unhappy, overwhelmed. You know what I mean? I feel like if I want to do something, I want to be able to enjoy it. I want to know that when I wake up, that I'm excited, that I'm happy to go to work, and then to do that again the next day. Because, like they say, stress is a killer. Stress is a killer. I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat it. But again, please, with everything that's happened, I'm going to repeat it again, COVID, all of that. Make sure you're checking up on people. Make sure that you know how they're doing. I mean, sometimes things can be natural causes, but other times it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like I said, I know that people have had depression, committed suicide. And then sometimes people just walk around very happy. They bring such joy to you, but then sometimes you don't even know that these people are suffering in silence. And it's a shame that people have to hide that. People have to keep these things a secret. I keep seeing things on social media where I saw about like the Ariana Grande and how she looks. I don't personally know her. You know what I mean? I don't personally know her. Why would I comment on something that I don't know? She probably could have made changes. She's probably going through something. We don't know what people are going through. But like I said, we live in a world where that's what I call it. It's a bunch of cyberbullies. People sitting like right now on my laptop, on my phone. Some people sometimes don't even have pictures. Some people do. Some people just make up names just to be on there, just to kind of just, harass and just do things. It's I'm just here thinking, but I'm like, it's 2023, right? I'm going to be 43 this year, and I've had moments where I'm like I'm older. I'm older, and it is different. You do see things a little bit differently because you're just like I don't give a you know I don't give a crap. I don't like the way I feel and how I see things. It's just so different because I'm just kind of like all I'm thinking about is that I'm older. Why do I have to let anybody or anything stress me? I have things where I'm just like certain things and conversations are not needed. That's why when you see me joking around talking about blocked, yeah, just wait until my next episodes because I could tell I have stories to tell. But It's just with age. I feel like I don't know if everybody experiences it, but I know I have, and I'm just kind of like I'm getting older. Why should I care what people think? If you see me on my social media and how I look and how I dress, because that's me. I'm older. That's what I want to do. I can do it. Who's gonna tell me otherwise? You know what I mean? We should be able to live our lives the way we want to and not worry about what anybody else has to say. Because we do have our moments where we do kind of just take into what people say. And I think that's why we always kind of fight against that of like I hear you, thanks, but I don't want to hear that. Or you're just saying things just to say things, and it's kind of like, okay. But again, mental health, you really have to take care of yourself. I mean, like I said, there's just some simple things that, well, again, because like I said, there was like all these other different disorder illnesses, but even if you don't suffer from any of those, like I said, we're human beings, we still go through stuff. Think about yourself. Do it. I'm serious. Think about you, because that's how I feel when I think about stuff. Like, you have to think about yourself. You have to do it. We do a lot, we take care of others. You always have to do for yourself. You really have to do for yourself sometimes. I have this thing where I wake up early. I give myself enough time to be able to walk to the bus, to have time to wait for the train, and then just have a nice regular just walk to work without having to feel that rush. Because that's another thing too about our lives. A lot of rushing, a lot of running, a lot of all that stuff. That's why I wake up early, because I was like, I'm not gonna stress myself. It's been moments where I've had moments where I was like, screw it. If I was like, when I get there, I'll get there. I give myself time so that I can have time. Because if you don't think about yourself, you don't think about your well being, your mental health, and like I said, physically as well, who else is going to do it? I'm always saying that I'm always grateful to be here, to wake up every day, to open my eyes, humbled and blessed. I'm enjoying life as much as I can. I'm in a different place in my life, and it's a beautiful thing. And it makes a big change of how much you change your life, things that you do differently. And when that light bulb just finally just goes off. I'm in therapy. I get therapy. I I get therapy. And has it helped? Sure it has. It's helped. Again, like I said, I can't be shamed about it. I'm not ashamed to be able to talk about it openly and freely, because it's okay. There's nothing wrong with getting therapy at all. Because I feel like if you can't talk to your friends or your loved ones, who else are you going to talk to? Sometimes maybe even a stranger. It just, the world just be like, it amazes you how like it could be just somebody you don't even know if you need to talk. But therapy is really important, you know. And my friends and other people have seen a big difference, even if it was with the therapy or even before therapy. But everybody's noticed a difference because, like, yeah, I'm like, it's 2023. Come on, we're getting older. I'm getting older. I be just like, I want to walk around in some like the yin and the yang, some zen, samosa, um, of moments where I'm just like, I have to bring myself back down. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have to find ways to refocus, recenter myself, because when I tell you, people will try to find ways to push your button, stress you out, and you're just like, why? Why you just can't leave me alone? Why you just can't let things be? But again, therapy is good. Like I said, don't be embarrassed. It's nothing to be ashamed about. I already see I got like 5 minutes left. Again, self care. All of these things are important. It's important. Don't ever be ashamed. Don't ever feel bad. Again, like I said, when it comes to children, look for these signs. You'll notice. You'll see differences in your children, friends, family. You'll see a difference. Um, but it is Mental Health Awareness Month. Don't mind me right now. Just thinking. So I'm hoping with some of this information, because like I said, I'm not a professional. So you know how people sometimes have to say these things. I'm not a professional. I just kind of found some information that I can share, that I was able to share my experience, my situation, and that I hope that it helps somebody out there. I hope that somebody's listening, watching, and just understanding that, you know what? Things are going to be okay. I guess it's all about taking it day by day, just trying to live in the moment, try to enjoy life as much as you can. Because as they say, tomorrow is not promised. We're not going to be here forever. So, as it's almost coming to an end, I am now, again, like I said, today is my first day, my first episode, because I'm starting fresh. I'm learning also as I go along. Um, Hoping that eventually, I'm hoping by the end of the year that it'll be a whole different look, because this all consists of being computer savvy. So bear with me. Thank you for your support, and who was watching before, and then I know that you're watching again. So let's just hope. Well, not even hope. We will see. Put it out into the universe, manifest it, speak it into existence by the end of the year, that it'll be a whole different thing of that I've learned how to finally do certain things, and the platforms and everything else that I can go on little by little by asking people, friends, anybody who knows, who's willing to share and help. So next week, next Tuesday, if I'm correct, is the 23rd. I'm going to have an episode about small businesses. I'm going to have my guest Maria. So I can't wait, because like the topics that I have, every time somebody talks about something, I was like, you know what, that makes a good topic. So I'm really excited for the next shows to come. Like I said, I'll try and I'll make sure that I post ahead of time. If anybody wants to be a guest on my show, you're more than welcome to. If it's anything that you want to talk about, again, if you have a small business and you want to talk about it, you want to promote what you have, please inbox me, message me, just let me know. What else? Yeah, but it's gonna be fun. I'm excited, especially with the whole dating thing. I just can't wait, guys, because I tell you, I have stories. I have stories, many great conversations to come. So, with that being said, like I said, as I'm learning this, ooh, this was limited. Okay, I didn't even know that I did. I didn't even know that I did 60 minutes because, like I said, I'm multitasking, trying to record in other places too. But I can't even, like I said, I do have, as I've gone live on IG, my Instagram at unstoppable underscore Ange22. I also have the YouTube where Boricua Angie speaks. I've even made a Twitch account. So there will be places that I will be live. My videos will be on there. So I am excited. Again, like I said, this is all I'm going to be learning. I'm going through this. I mean, everything right now seems real simple, but I'm learning. With that being said, I just want to say good night. Life is too short. Enjoy life to the fullest. And I will see you all next time. Good night. Mm-mm.